On that thought, I think I would want you to talk your understanding of the spirit of America. What does that American spirit mean to you? What does the identity of being an American mean to you? And how is that identity, or how that spirit lives and survives through generations to generations?
To be American is to embrace the legal norms, the moral norms in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the notion of what it means to live in a free society, to be free men in a free society, to maintain that freedom by the limitation of one's own appetites, to defend it by the courage of one's commitment, to manage that through one's own wisdom. And yes, that's vague, but nonetheless, that civic identity founded on those documents and on the notion of moral limitation of one's actions rather than have the government impose it was talked about previously generations ago. It is a civic identity founded on a moral ideal that is attached to a geographic area, but it is one thing to be an American, and that is much more abstract than what it means to, say, be a Russian.
And how does that spirit or that idea of being American lives through generations?
It was passed on previously by the stories of the philosophers who led to the American Revolution. For example, when I was very young, I learned about the Boston Massacre. What was the important part about the Boston Massacre? Not the issue that a few British soldiers accidentally killed a few of the people assaulting them, but that they were defended by one of the great proponents of American independence from Britain. The thing that made this not just a no-holds-barred, vicious bit of brutality was the fact that people held to principles, the rule of law, evidence, truth, and not just, we're over here, they're over there, they're telling us what to do, we hate them. The ideal was to be more than that. People sought to defend people, even people they didn't like, even people who were doing things they didn't want, because the truth mattered. And you read through the stories of other founders. For example, what did Benjamin Franklin say? Those who would give up a little temporary freedom, who would temporarily give up freedom for a little security, deserve neither freedom nor security. And I know I'm butchering the quote, but there was a background to that. He argued it, and those arguments were written down. There were the early questions of what does it mean to be in a regimented military in a country that is supposed to be free. Those debates were written down. So early ways to pass that on involved teaching debates as the inherent part of it. It wasn't just one person did this and then that. It was one person did this, that there was an argument about this and an argument about that, and yet this happened.